Let's get this party started.
You didn't do your intro, though.
Yeah. All right. What is up, everybody? This is episode 18. Can you believe it? We made it to episode 18.
Big 18. We're legal
Big
now.
18.
We're legal.
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot. 18.
Yeah,
So
barely,
can we
vote?
barely
We can-
18.
Dude.
You're so young,
Barely
except for Joe.
legal.
Why are you looking
Joe's
at
not
me?
looking.
I remember 18 a long time ago.
Yeah, that was like back in the Gladiator days.
Dude, the Coliseum.
Coliseum.
Speaking of the
When
Coliseum, guess where the Zuck
the
and
seats were good.
And what's his face are fighting?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Where?
so
Where?
if they
Where?
find
Roman. So the
No.
Italian government
yes.
offered up the Roman Coliseum for those two
Yes.
to match.
Oh, that's freaking amazing.
Would you fly out there just to see it?
If I had the means, yes.
Money?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But UFC pay-per-view, baby.
Yeah. I'll have the best seat in the house because
Yeah.
I would probably be in the nosebleed of the Roman Coliseum.
We got to work on those undercards.
What do you mean undercards? What are
For
you talking about?
every main event has like prelims and other fights. I mean,
Get
you
some
got
of
to
us on
max
there, dude.
that.
Yeah.
We got to start thinking about like dream fights that we would have.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be the question we'll get to later. Just think about what would be a dream fight you'd want to see as a prelim for Zuck
All right.
versus Musk.
Hey, you know what? We'll circle
like it.
back in a little bit, but I want to take a moment and thank our beautiful audience, our beautiful guest that is joining us today. Special guest is Mr. Dr. Trace.
Mr. Doctor. I like
Mr.
that.
Doctor.
I like that. God.
And big shout out to our audience because seriously, what did we get on the last the views on that last episode with?
Let's bring it up. Let's
Pull it
bring
up,
it
Jamie.
up.
It's like 13. Check it out. We went from
Having
50
our-
to
Okay, let's go
50, 100, 123, 8
Yeah.
likes. Watch, scroll up to the latest one. That's with episode 16?
17, I think.
17. There it is.
There it is.
16.
Nice.
16.
1,300 views. And check it out. Hover over the likes on the right there. Check
I
it out.
wanna know-
We got 3 dislikes.
Oh,
Yeah, baby.
that's how you know you made it.
Yeah. I want to know who they are.
We got
First haters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone comment. If you're like, I dislike this episode, would love to.
Leave a comment.
Yeah,
Leave a
would
comment.
love it.
Can you give us, are there comments there enabled so that we could see what we could do
Yeah,
to be
absolutely.
better for? Okay,
Absolutely.
are there
No,
any
there's zero
comments?
comments. Right?
Yeah,
Zero.
no, it's enabled, but yeah,
Yeah.
there's 0 comments. YouTube, it's a bit of a challenging medium.
It's a weird market, dude.
So to get 1,300 is just astonishing. So some algorithm picked up.
I know what it was.
Picked it up and
I did research.
it was you know who it was? It was the founding father.
I think.
Yeah.
So we were talking about it. We think that maybe there's a history angle, and the algorithm detected that we were talking about like educational history, founding fathery
could
stuff,
be.
and it like rotated it to more people.
Yeah.
Think about
Yeah,
it. Dude.
and then
And
it
I
hit
wasn't
like
here.
Three, and it hit like
And
3
you were here.
professors, and they were like, bullshit.
Dislike.
It was the professors.
This guy ain't a founding
Hey,
father.
I think I'm related to George Washington. I bet you we get like 10 more views when I said that.
Yeah.
Everybody pick a founding father, and
Okay.
we're gonna talk about him for 5
Okay,
minutes.
I'll write that down. If you could be, okay, I'll write that down.
If you could be a founding father,
No, I covered right
And of
now.
all the people you could sneeze on, it's me.
No.
which founding
I don't know
father
if
would
I
you
covered
sneeze
my
on?
mouth or not. I was
Check the
more
tape.
worried about the mic. Hey, so
Thanks.
Back to our guest.
back to our guest. So Trace, I love that hat. I love the. Oh, you took the glasses off.
I did take the glasses off. It was hard to
all
see.
right.
So
So what's up, Trace? Tell us a little bit. Tell us something good. Let's
Yeah.
start with that. Tell us something good, something beautiful, something great that's happened to you today.
today, I can go into early this morning. My son, who's a 2-month-old, actually slept, and when we woke up at 2:30, was only up for like 20 minutes before he went back down and slept for another 4 hours. So it was great.
Oh, that's a big.
So, yeah,
That's a good one.
But it's AM.
It is
Oh,
AM.
yeah.
Those
It
are
is
AM
AM.
Oh,
times.
those are. Yeah, that is money. Like
To all those parents, you know what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
20 minutes, you're like, yes, I did it.
Johnny. Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
Have you ever had a little puppy?
Yeah, we got
Okay.
a puppy last year, and it's from what I hear, it's exactly the same.
Times 10.
I'm just kidding.
Pretty much.
Times 10.
Yeah, actually,
That was 100 probably.
my wife, and I love her, I gotta be careful I said this, we got a dog I think it was her test to see if I can care for a living thing before we actually produced humans.
And you passed.
You passed.
Oh yeah, I love that dog.
25 years later. Damn.
I haven't messed it up.
25 years later. You know, there is anniversaries. Anniversaries coming up.
Well, congrats.
It will be.
Congrats.
Thank you. It'll be
In a week?
25
2 weeks?
years
Something like
in
that?
August.
No way.
And yeah,
Nice.
Luis and I were talking about that. Happy wife, happy life.
Wow.
And being a dad and all that. Yeah, and actually everything's going pretty
So
good.
you met her in your 60s? That's amazing.
On his first round of 60s.
Oh,
that's good.
nice. Yeah,
on his,
that's amazing.
round
Yeah,
80.
I
Love
was
that.
actually looking for retirement homes, and she was walking by, and I said, "Hey,
pretty lady."
hey, pretty lady."
My name's Benjamin Button.
I'm like a fine wine.
It's Mr. Sugar Daddy right here, huh?
I
Look
don't
at
got
you. Look
any
at you.
sugar.
Let's look at those
She
beautiful.
is
Look at those
the-
beautiful eyes.
Dude,
we
eyes
get
can
where's the
some-
close up on that one?
That's gonna get
Yeah.
us like 10 more views. Now we're gonna have like 20.
Yeah, and 4 more dislikes.
Now we're gonna double our dislikes. Who's this guy? You know
John-
what? When people dislike you, real quickly, how do you feel about that? We were talking today. Like if someone's just like, they don't care for you. How do you guys respond to that, real quickly?
Haters gonna hate, bro. Haters gonna hate.
I just don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't put energy into
Yeah.
it.
I do care. I turn up the love.
Oh.
I'd be like, hey,
Oh,
you know what?
Jesus.
No, wait,
Relax.
what's going on? Are you? Tell me
So
about your day.
dumb.
Are you having a a
Yeah.
tough day?
You hit him
So,
with kindness.
Hit them
I
with
like
kindness. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give it an attempt. I try that, but if they're not feeling it quickly, it's like, nah, okay, never
Have fun.
mind.
Yeah.
No.
Screw him.
Yeah.
So, John, let's move on with you. Tell us something. So, this is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about something good that happened today, and then we'll go back to Trace, and then I want to learn more about the intricacies. That's a fancy word, especially for me.
word.
ESL,
Good word.
ESL.
Yeah, be careful.
Intricacies of Trace, because of Mr.
Dr.
Dr. Trace.
I like
Hey,
that.
how come there's
You gotta
always-
change your handle, bro. Mr. Dr. Trace. I like that.
There's always something that happens on these shows where with Farmer Pete, what do we call him? Farmer Pete or strong ass Farmer Pete, or I don't know. We went into a series.
He had like 20
TP.
names. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had like 20 names.
TP.
Yeah.
We're still
Yeah.
looking at that toy contract where we're going to have Farmer Pete, and you can switch out all the different
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
EMT, Pete.
We should make little
Jiu-Jitsu
action
Pete.
figures for all the guests, dude. That would be
Yeah.
awesome.
We
Or,
know,
or a
So
doll,
cool.
we know a lady.
or a voodoo
We know a
doll,
lady.
We know a lady.
Yeah.
like the one he has for himself.
Yeah,
That's not
little
quite an action
Joe.
figure, though.
Hey,
It's more of an inaction figure.
hey. Hey,
I'm
what-
glad there's a doctor here because I'm getting bleep, 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 destroyed.
Hey, if we get a pin and like stick it in him, would that hurt you? Would you feel it?
No,
Well,
I push out pain. I
not
am
voodoo.
I am a martial artist because I do Jiu-Jitsu.
But we have Mr. Dr. Trace over there, so he could do all the needling on that doll, and we can
Yeah,
maybe fix some things.
it's the power of the
Hey,
mind.
so this is what's gonna happen. You're going to do the micro needling on the doll, and he's gonna feel this.
I don't have the doll today. You might have to do
Little
it
Joe.
on
Little
the
Joe.
actual
Little
Do
Joe.
it, Steve.
All right. Let's get back on track.
something good.
Something good, Johnny.
Picture Joe
Something
with his
good.
doll. Just tell me where it hurts.
Yeah. We're going to poke it
fix it.
there.
That does not hurt.
Some good today. Today's a tough one. Can I do this week? Are we allowed to do
Yeah,
this week?
absolutely.
Let's do this week. Going on a my wife's family reunion next week, so we're getting all set up for it. Going to do a road trip down to Baja. Going to go drive down the 10 and visit her family and do a couple stops.
Wow.
It's going to be amazing. I'm really excited for it, but I will be out next week.
Okay.
And that's not the good thing, but the family reunion thing, and
Nice.
yeah,
Oh,
is
yeah.
the good thing.
So that's something that's going to be good in the future. What happened to you today? Let's go back. Let me rewind it.
Put me on the spot.
No, you have to find something. I mean, I got one right
No.
away. You woke up. That's positive, right?
Yeah, I guess I
pillow.
woke up.
Pillow. I like my pillow. My
Yeah.
pillow.
No, I had a good. I felt good. I felt really good in training. I think taking a couple days off since I think maybe last Thursday or Wednesday. just help kind of heal all those little weird intricacies. There you go. I'm using it again.
Intricacies.
You hit the
little
move of the day
intricacies.
too.
And I hit the move of the day. That's another good thing.
Can I
Oh,
ask-
on who? Was that on you?
No, it wasn't on me.
No.
I think he felt really good because he actually forgot his blue belt, and so he was a white belt.
Oh, so it
feels
fit.
like so it feels even better.
Feels even better. The enjoyment. is-
Sandbagging piece of you know what.
I went in like this. Hey guys. Hey. So I put my wife like, hey guys, I'm new here.
Hey, forgot how to tie it too.
Forgot how to tie it. You know?
Hey, I do that all the time. I forget brain fart, total brain fart.
Yeah. One end's like
Yeah, it's
a
like
foot and a half. The other end's like 3 inches.
Yeah, no, that'd be
damn it.
nice. No, mine is it just doesn't I'll pull through and then it comes undone.
Oh,
And
that's
it's
even
vroom.
worse.
Oh,
Falls
shit.
down.
Yeah, yeah. Tell us something good, Mr. Christopher Remus.
Today, hit the move of the day on the founding father, Brody. Within the last 24 hours, though, my favorite activity is July 4th. Really, anytime I get to go purchase fireworks and launch them. My neighbor here, Luis, and I put on a show. We've gotten better every time we've done it.
You're pulling up on
It's
dude.
elevated.
I will say this, though. And the other thing with Brody, though, we got a chance to hang out with his family over the weekend, and I went wake surfing for the very first time.
Nice.
Was able to get up and actually ride for a couple minutes, so it was really a cool experience if you've never done that. I've got one little bone to pick for the people. I'm not on social media, but I do see some feeds every now and then. The people that are like, hey, stop busting fireworks. It's July 4th. We celebrated that on July 3rd. Sorry, Independence Day was on July 4th. Yep. So get your days right. Outside of that, just continue and just have fun at the
Wait, who
project.
says you can't throw fireworks on July 4th?
There's
People
some,
actually.
There's some haters on the
Yeah.
Facebooks that are in these neighborhood groups that are like, hey, the city already provided that display on the 3rd. I got to work tomorrow. And we're like, yeah, so do I. Boom.
Who was that? A male Karen
Male
version?
Karen. Yeah,
of
Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin.
But
Oh my
anyway,
God,
other than that, launch of fireworks with my friends, family, and my neighbors. That was amazing. We had a great time, especially with the kids. Wake surfing, and then putting the move on the day on the founding father, Brody.
Bam! I think
Bam.
that last one was the best.
That was a good one.
Love you, Brody. Hey, so you know what? I'm gonna go next only because I'm gonna piggyback on. Hey, you like that, huh? I'm gonna piggyback.
Oink,
on.
oink.
God, you beat me
Yeah, beat you. Come on, guy. You gotta be faster.
I was distracted.
Eating your cookies and shit.
Oink,
Come on,
oink.
dude.
Hey, so yeah, the fireworks show. Holy smokes, we got. I don't know. Combined, it was at least $750 worth of mortars.
Wow.
Yeah. It was 72 mortars.
72 mortars plus.
Oh Lord.
Plus the box, right?
Yeah, and all the Roman candles.
So
Yeah.
we had 2 of those grand finale boxes with 24 each,
Yeah.
and then
They go like in a circle. They shoot off in a circle.
No, this one
Or
was
the
like
different
back and forth. But we had a
Okay.
never-ending. We had
Yeah.
a never-ending fountain.
Oh
It was
yeah.
5 minutes of bliss.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it just kept going. It was at least what 20? No, about 20 feet, right?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
it was the show. Next year, I think we're gonna New Year's we're gonna elevate it. Just
Oh, and
a
by the
little
way, we
more.
live in Round Rock.
Round, yeah.
Round Rock.
It's outside.
Southeast Round Rock.
Southeast Round Rock.
It's outside the city limits. It's okay. Yeah, I'll just leave it at
I
that.
think what you guys need to add is some big speakers for those people and play American theme
Oh, no, we
music
did.
the whole
So
night.
I pulled
Yeah,
out the
just
golf cart and I
blare.
turned up the speakers
Yeah.
and we were playing
Yeah.
4th of July
Nice.
music all night.
That's
Oh, yeah.
I
awesome.
love it.
Yep. Tell us something good. Dope. Let's get it.
I would say to go with the theme, just it's always like family. July 4th is another great holiday because you get to hang out, spend time with your loved ones, and you get to relax. And we're all so busy with everything we do, and so I got to spend time with my in-laws and my mother-in-law, my father-in-law live next door, and my brother-in-law and his wife and my 2 nephews live a couple blocks away. We had a family friend come, and my daughters.
Nice. All right.
And I'm trying to make a way we could talk later, so I got to see them enjoy all the festivities. And then because of our founding fathers and my First Amendment rights, I was able to have the freedom of speech to tell them all to F off.
Oh,
And it was great, yeah.
Oh,
nice.
damn,
But
really?
it's great just
Do you
to
want to talk about
relax.
that?
As a positive F off?
No, the positive was family time.
All right.
Nice.
Good, bad. You love it, right?
Love it.
Love family and friends.
Heck yeah. All right. So I think it's time to get back to Mr. Doctor.
Mr. Doctor.
Can
Dr.
he share
Trace.
something did he already share?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I started it off.
Yeah, he was the first one.
Dude, my ADHD.
No, it's your
It's your
age.
age,
Joe wants to do
bro.
another round. He wants to do another round.
So have we started the podcast?
Geriatric Joe over here.
Hey, yesterday
Age deficit.
Geriatric.
he sent me a picture of himself with like an American flag hat, American flag T-shirt, and it said "Happy Easter." I'm like,
I
yeah,
love
all
that.
right.
I love
that. It works.
But it did, yeah. And then it had a pumpkin for candy. Where's the candy?
Mr. Dr. Trace, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first, thanks for having me on.
Hell yeah,
So
no, thanks for being here, man. We love it. We
yeah.
love
So
it.
what do y'all want to know? Jiu-Jitsu related, life related,
Anything
PT
you
related,
want.
anything?
Were you-
Anything
So-
you want.
Favorite color?
Yeah,
Favorite
we
color.
got
What's your favorite movie?
Yeah, California, Texas. I forgot where you're at.
dude.
I'm sorry.
Dude, that
California.
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 He's the most
I'm surrounded by
California.
all Californians.
Yeah, but they don't really live in
You-
California.
You are fighting Illini.
I am. Yeah, that's where I went to undergrad at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And your
Yeah.
family is from Illinois.
Yes.
Illinois or Illinois?
Illinois. Yeah,
Illinois.
silent S.
Ooh.
Unless you're from anywhere aside from Illinois. then-
Texas.
yeah.
Illinois.
Illinois. Chicago.
Hey,
Chicago.
what if you're ESL? Can I say Illinois?
You can say whatever you want.
You say
Ija.
Illinois.
Ija.
There's a double L in
Yeah.
there.
Illinois?
Illinois.
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 All right. So,
No.
born and raised?
No, so my dad was military, so we moved around a bunch when I was little. So I was born in Ohio. Then we went to Bolingbrook, and then we went to Puerto Rico is where I started school, and then we went to Wisconsin, and then West Virginia, and then my sophomore year of high school is when I got to Illinois.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was where that all started. And then from there, undergrad at U of I, grad school up in Chicago at a state school, Governor State, for PT, and then got moved down here because I got a scholarship from the VA, and they kind of gave me, kind of like how the military works is, you know, you've got 5 places to choose from. Go ahead and pick. And it was like Tuskegee, Alabama, Wichita, Kansas, a couple places on the Northeast, or Austin, Texas. So I was like, well, let's try out Austin.
Yeah.
So
Heck yeah.
Hell
Yeah.
Nice.
How, what branch of service was your dad?
he was Coast Guard.
Coast Guard.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Coasty.
Yeah.
That was like, I had grown up thinking I would eventually go military, but kept getting school paid for. So just kept going to school and applied to the Army Baylor PT program because I wanted to go into PT, but still military if I could, but I didn't make the cut. I got to the round of 50, but not to the round of 30. So,
Oh, wow.
yep.
Oh, wow.
So in state school it was, and plan was always to go VA. I've been with the VA. I volunteered there when I was 16. So I've been a part of
Really?
that system for years. I've got 8 years now of federal service, 5 as a PT, 3 is like student related stuff beforehand. So
Does all that time tenure?
It does, yeah.
Wow.
yeah.
Oh.
So
Lucky in that.
That's awesome.
mhm.
I mean, and for that, thank you for your service because I know you are helping a lot of veterans out. And where do you do practice? What is your practice at?
Up in Temple, Central
Temple?
Texas, VA.
Okay. Wow.
Yep. But I've worked at the Austin clinic. I was there for 9 months when we had a couple PT shortages. So I've been down there, worked in Central Texas, and then I've worked at Hines in Chicago, and then in Danville, it's VA Ileana. So
Nice.
yeah.
Are you more sports specific or rehab?
I do
or-
majority total joint replacements in the morning. Yeah, so total knees, total hips in the morning, and then normal outpatient PT. But I've worked all settings, so this will kind of get into jiu-jitsu journey a little bit. But I've worked acute care, I've worked skilled nursing facility, and then what actually got me into jiu-jitsu was I was working our COVID unit. So when COVID happened, 2020, they needed more hands on deck, and they needed people to like mobilize people, get them up and moving, because we didn't know how we were treating any of this stuff. And PTs are like the movement specialists. So
Yeah.
there's acute care PT, and usually that's like after a heart attack or a stroke. That's where you're typically at. They asked for volunteers. I went up there, was doing that, and going from outpatient ortho, like total knee, total hip, where nobody's dying usually. Like my patients are usually, 4 to 8 weeks, we're doing pretty good. Like everything's going good.
Okay.
To on the COVID unit, people were dying every week. So that kind of started to weigh heavy because it's like a lot of older vets and they've already got comorbidities, obesity, COPD, heart failure. So when they get hit with that, and it kind of came in waves, but going from that to now I'm dealing with a patient caseload that is dying. And I'm sure you guys specifically know, like, that first time you hear taps, they play it anytime anyone at the VA passes. So you're up there on the floor and you hear it and the casket starts going out. That gets real heavy real quick.
Wow.
Every time?
Yeah. Every time a vet passes the VA, it's covered with a flag, taps on the way out. Nurses line the halls on the way out.
Wow.
So that got heavy and I needed an outlet and found a jiu-jitsu gym because I jokingly say it, but for an hour and a half, you're not thinking about anything else when people are trying to choke you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
Other
right.
than getting choked.
Other than,
So it was, I was trying to explain that to my wife because I'd come home and I started in that Georgetown gym that was just a machine shed.
Yeah.
And come home, T's beating up on me every day and just coming home bumps and bruises. And I was like, what are you doing? And just explain that to her. It's like, I need an outlet for an hour and a half of just nothing else matters. Just pushing everything to the limit. And so that's how I actually got started here. That was where the tipping point was.
What year, what year would that be?
2021, the beginning of around this time, it's like May 2021.
Man, that's not that far off.
no. It's a year.
When I hear about the stories either from Travis Cox
and a
or any of
2
the
years.
guys, it's like I'm thinking like
2 years ago,
13 or 12 or 10, and they're like, no, dude, that was like last year.
Yeah.
A lot of movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when Professor Roberto went back to Brazil. That's what moved us all over out of the machine shed.
So you were part of that.
Yeah, for our viewership out there, if you saw the one on the episode with Travis, you were with him in that shed, and so he told us, if I remember correctly, weren't they next to porta potties, correct?
Yeah, Professor Roberto was, I think, using the gym space gym space loosely for free because it was on the guy that he worked for. It was his land or property or whatever, and they did septic. So it was septic tanks. It was porta potties. So when the wind caught in the middle of summer, it was 114 in there and smelled like porta potties.
So you were literally in this shit.
Yes,
In
very
the
much so.
shit.
That's
And it
some
was
character building, though.
and it was mostly gi. So it was you didn't even have the relief of like, oh, maybe we can be in nogi. No, it was.
Wow.
You must
hold on.
love
Did
jiu-jitsu.
did
And
that-
we could tie that in later.
Yep.
too.
I have a
Dude,
quick question
yeah.
before we move on and learn. Well, this is about you. Gi or no gi?
I started out liking gi only. It was probably a year and a half into me training before I ever did no gi. I was afraid of getting hurt, just doing it, being more dynamic. I don't know now. It's a different game entirely. So,
boom.
yeah.
Yeah,
No gi is
that.
fun. It's
It
faster. I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of prefer no-gi at this point in my training.
Damn.
but
Chalk another one
That's
up. Chalk another one
everybody.
up for Nogi.
It's more like grips. Like right now, we just got done training gi and my fingertips are sore. Like I'm clearly doing something wrong, but yeah, no-gi's fun.
Some people like black and white TV, and some people like 4K color TV. but
Whoa.
Yeah.
3D.
I like
I'm
4D
yeah.
4D chess, and that's gi.
I like gi if I don't know who I'm going against because you've got more control. I don't like going into like, oh, this kid's 19. Let's see what he can do. No, because you'll run into a wrestler that's going to destroy you. But
Yeah.
in gi, it's like, hold on. Like,
Yeah.
we're not doing this.
Yeah.
So,
like, do you want to be excited or do you want to be like safe?
both.
Yeah, but some people just like to be safe, and some people want excitement.
There's an element. There's an element of risk, I think, with Nogi.
Yeah.
You're slippery. You're
Dude.
sliding everywhere.
It's like if you're
right?
dating, do you date the
Yeah.
sure thing or do you want to go for the thing that God? But some
You're
people
going that
are
direction,
go,
huh?
yeah, like with the girl
that.
that comes in or the guy with like the tight collar, and she's like, can I have a glass of water?
Do you go for the unstable?
Dude, you go
Right?
with the chick with
Psycho
the
with the-
piercings all over and the tattoos, and
With the
she's in the
tube
bar
top.
face and she's smoking 2 cigarettes at the same time. She looks at him like, what are you looking at?
I will say though, your game either way, with your advantage of being a PT,
Yes.
in
It's
all
stupid. It's
respect,
wrong.
is horrible. It's one of the worst, best
Horrible
roles,
in a good way.
Worst, best roles, because there's times when you're like, dang it, he does know how my arms move. And it's like there's an arm lock when there shouldn't be an arm lock. There's a wrist lock, and he just smiles when he does it. He's like, yeah.
You get so much satisfaction out of the
Yeah.
wrist
Oh,
locks,
I
dude.
love it.
Oh,
It is so fun. Ever
Yeah.
since I got cleared to do it.
Yeah.
with Blue Belt, it was like,
Yes.
let's go ahead
Trace
and
and
play.
I have talked a little bit, and we'll get back to it, but we kind of moved away. We've kind of talked. It's not like we're hiding a thing, because anyone could come to the dark side.
y'all are training wrist
Wrist
locks in
lock
secret,
war-
aren't you?
Wrist lock warlocks.
Oh.
And it's magical because it's the great unknown. It's like as soon as I...
No, it's bullshit.
Oh.
It's cheating.
There was a time when people thought leg locks were bullshit.
Actually, and I don't mind when Trace does it because he at least smiles at you when he does it.
I mind
he's
more.
got that. He's got that.
I
like-
mind more when Trace does it because I'm like, motherfucker, you're gonna rub it in with that.
That was my only goal when you got your blue belt the first time. It's like, come here, Johnny. This is legal now.
Okay, from wrist locker to wrist locker, because they don't understand how
They don't
great
understand
it
us.
feels. But out of all the submissions and things that you have in your skill set now, is the wrist lock the most satisfying?
Absolutely.
Yes.
The best.
me
So
too.
the best wrist lock story was it was training with T and Guy, and beforehand he was like, "Man, wrist locks are bullshit. You never hit it on me. No one will ever hit it in a competition." And he like posted his hand, and I caught him while he was rolling, and tapped him on like a rolling wrist lock, and he was like, "Shit!"
Yeah.
And it was like same day,
I
same
guess
class.
it does work, right?
Yeah, he was like, "Man, all right."
he had to
You-
eat his words. You're
You have
smiling.
rolled-
right?
yeah, I mean, you've rolled with T well more than any of us.
Mm-hmm.
If you could put a number on the amount of times you've rolled with T, how many
God.
times?
I don't.
And
The,
for
I mean,
our-
the first 6 months when we were training there, like T was one of the most consistent. So it was like if I showed up, and remember when he rode that motorcycle? It's like I'd be there training, and it's class started at 5:30. And it's like, oh, it's 5:40. Nice, T's not coming today. I don't have to die. And then I hear the. It's like, oh no.
He made it. He made it.
T walks in with his gi and his motorcycle helmet.
Yeah.
For our viewership out there, T played, and we'll have him on, professional football for 4 years. He's what, how tall you think he is?
6'2", 6'1".
He's a big boy.
And then 250-ish?
Yeah.
No,
60.
260.
At a
Yeah,
low, at a
He's
lightweight.
He's
And
girthy.
moves
Yeah.
like he's 160 pounds.
Butter.
Yeah. He moves like Alex, but with like an extra 100 pounds.
Yeah. Which
And strength and,
And he-
explosiveness.
And he
Yeah.
sweats a lot too.
And
so
he's slippery.
I
so slippery.
quick T story. I love you, T, if you're listening. He was full mount on me. I was trying to push him off and stuff, and he is sweating. And you know how you see that drop of sweat?
Oh my god.
Slow motion, right in my mouth. And I was so mad. And I'm like, don't sweat in my mouth. So part of his DNA is in me.
You have his memories now, bro. You
Dude.
can see his lineage, his
Dude,
past.
if I
his-
was put under by like
present.
a hypnotist, I could probably recall all his childhood, all his football games, everything. All his dark
his
secrets.
essence, bro.
That's a little.
It was more than essence.
Hey, that's a little disturbing.
Hey,
How does that make you feel?
hold on.
I
back
don't want
to
someone sweat in my mouth.
back to the Georgetown thing. How many people were training? Like, how big was that group?
Not very. There were probably a dozen of us,
Mm-hmm.
and then any class period would be like 6 was like a good day. Like if you
Really?
could,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
if you could get like Professor Roberto, T, me, Niles, Gabe. Maybe there were more. Mike was one. So maybe it was like 6 were consistent, and then you might get up to 12, but you wouldn't have much bigger than that.
Mm-hmm. So you were rolling with pretty much the same people
All the time.
every single training session. So
Yeah.
even that, you're probably getting tons of T rolls. And
Oh yeah,
That's
there was
crazy.
no way to
Yeah.
avoid it.
Yeah.
And like Professor Roberto, he even like to get T working more, because after 2 months, like even the blue belts that were there, like they weren't challenging T. So Professor Roberto would set him up, and it'd be like every minute on the minute, T's in the middle, you guys are all rotating in, pick your position on him. So like T would be rolling for a minute, destroying me, mounted on top of me, and then Gabe would come in and just like grab him in a rear naked choke and pull him backwards, and that's where he gets a start for a minute.
That's where he starts.
And it was just like every minute on the minute, we've got to make T work. So we did 2-on-1s against T, like me and Niles rolling against T. It was weird.
One freaking ankle lock, one with rear naked.
Absolutely.
Right? Oh man.
Yeah, I'd hold both of his legs down so he couldn't move, like not even attempting anything, and then Niles is attacking his upper half.
How about cattle prods? You try that?
We didn't get there.
How often were you training in a week? 3-4 times?
3-4 times when I was there. Yeah,
Okay.
because they didn't have weekend classes. But I usually train Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one thing that we have the advantage of you being in our group and in our family is, half of us are all broken, and you're a PT, and some of us have had the opportunity to have you work on us. Were you practicing even that then, or is that something new?
It's new. I can't. It was Alex Northam was the first one to reach out because he somehow, I don't even remember. Like we got to talking because I don't really like to talk about it because like I said, when I started, I really didn't want to talk about PT when I got on the mats. So
I see.
When I got here,
you're trying to get away from it.
I got you.
Yeah, and I told him that because he was asking, my opinions on it. It's like, I don't mind when I'm on the mats if it's like a quick question, but I don't want to miss a roll because you had a question on something that we were working through.
Makes
It's like
sense.
talk after, talk before, that's all fine. But so he was asking about stuff, and I don't remember how he figured out I was a PT. But then he was the first one that I treated, and then from there, T kind of at the same time. And T started like saying that I was helping him with stuff, and then Alex, maybe that's how Alex found out.
So what made you go in the direction of PT? Like, what was the moment where you were thinking? Because as a teacher, when you're young, you have all these roads. I like to tell my students, try to have as many paths available to you as possible. And then you start venturing onto one. So what was the thing that got you going the PT route?
So I always knew I wanted to do like healthcare. That was always sort of my plan. I actually, when I first started, was going towards pharmacy. And that was basically, I Googled like highest paying profession, then pharmacy was up there. So I was like, okay, we'll do that. In my junior college, went through and I had a chemistry professor for organic chemistry. And after I got through that class, he looked at me and he's like, what do you plan to do? I was like, I'm gonna be a pharmacist. He's like, no, you're not. I was like, what? Yeah, I am. He's like, and he was like a guy ready to retire. He was like 75. And
So like he's just telling you how it was.
He's like, you don't like chemistry? I was like, yeah, I do. He's like, no, you should find something else. Like, you're not going to be a pharmacist. Yeah. And then into the end of Orgo, I was like, you know what? He's right. This sucks. Like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So then
the OChem is like a really, really hard class. And I think that's like one of the weeding kind of classes, right? Where you kind of decide
organic
whether or not you
chemistry,
like that kind of path or not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I was also doing anatomy and phys, and I liked that a lot more. Like, and I got to work with at the VA in Illinois. I worked in the rehab team, so PT, OT, chiropractic, the physiatry doctors, and got to kind of see all of them. And there were a couple PTs that took me under their wing, and that's what I got exposure to. So
very cool.
Yeah.
So someone just kind of gave you some insight, changed your direction.
That's awesome.
Wow, good for him.
Are you working with folks about your age, or where are you at, like age-wise, within the rest of the PTs in your organization?
coworker-wise?
Yeah.
No, I'm the youngest
Okay.
by probably 10, 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The majority of them are older
see that.
than me,
Yeah.
especially at the VA. Because, like, I think I have kind of unique circumstances of getting that scholarship and then getting right into the VA, because it's tough to get into federal if you don't have prior service or something like that, or don't have an in already. So I think I got lucky, or not luck, like that was the intention. That's why I applied for the scholarship. That's why I had always intended to get in
A
there.
little bit of luck, but you worked hard at it and prepared yourself and
Yeah, you made your own luck.
Ready for the opportunity. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the microneedling that you do to everybody at the academy.
So it's dry needling. Microneedling, I think, is what they do to eyebrows or micro-threading stuff. Yeah.
So you get confused.
ESL.
Which he's also licensed in.
Which if you need that, you let me know.
Dry
We can
needling.
line you up a
We
little
could do
bit.
them both.
Hey,
We got all the services.
ESL, all right? That's my excuse. Microneedling is for eyebrows.
That might be wrong.
Why are you looking
I don't
at
know.
me?
We gotta Google it.
Yeah.
Joe,
Let's look it up.
who knows, right?
But the dry needling.
Yeah.
Tell us about the dry needling.
You talk about my words per minute. You can't even
Go
spell.
left-handed, bro.
Oh, look at this microneedling.
There we go.
Is this
Yeah.
for above the waist?
It might not be.
No, see, microneedling. It.
No, so I think this is like a stimulating thing.
What?
Yeah, see this
To
lady.
stimulate what?
So it's got little it's got a roller. It's a
Collagen
roller.
induction.
Joe's
do
the
you-
one like.
How do you know this?
I'm looking at
Oh,
how
that's
do you,
like.
How do you not? You probably invented this.
What is that?
This is the reason
There
why
was a
you still
picture.
look the way you are. It
Wait,
sounds like.
wait. Collagen. Oh.
cosmetic
Oh,
procedure
it's-
that is used to encourage collagen production using small sterilized needles. It may help smooth,
Oh,
firm.
hell
So
no.
it's like a little roller, and they roll. It has little micro needles on there.
I'd much rather have you dry needle.
Yeah. Let's get back to dry needling. So how does that work? And tell us about that.
So the idea is that you're getting the needle like right into. There's a couple different ways to do it, but like getting it into a trigger point. So if you got a tight spot in a muscle, put a needle right into it, winding it to try and get it to release. So you're affecting not just the muscle, but also like the surrounding tissue as well. And then I also do electro dry needling, which is using the stem unit and getting it to jump, getting the muscle. So that facilitates blood flow. You're releasing endogenous opioids. Like there's
So this stuff,
that-
basically, right?
Yeah.
See that one where it's the fourth one to the right? That's what my leg looked like.
yeah.
This one?
No,
No.
the one with the cap.
Gosh.
That's a back. Chest. That's damage.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah, someone got chest kicked.
Yeah.
No, so I took the advantage when he first got his your own little electro needling device, and I was having knee issues. It was the first time. Was at nogi. I rolled incorrectly tried to get out of a position.
Oh man.
You know, so one of the things that happens, and
Yep.
man, I will say this. I have let things try to heal on their own, and they take forever, but he got me turned around so fast.
Wow.
So fast. It is, we did dry needling, and then by about the third session, he had the electrodes, and I mean, complete, like, unreal how
So
quick it went.
can you help me understand like what this is doing? Like what that actually does from a physiological perspective? Like what is I get like massaging and icing and all that stuff, but like what is this?
Or even compared to acupuncture. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the difference between acupuncture and dry needling, acupuncture is like Eastern med, Chinese med. They go based on like the chi and chakra, and they've got like acupoint specifically. But like if you had shoulder pain, they may stick you on like your opposite hand. I don't know the acupoints,
Gotcha.
but they base it off of like theory and like history. So they're going to do it based on where they've found good relief, but it may not be in that area. PTs do dry needling like localized to the tissue. So if you've got shoulder pain, I'm not sticking you on the opposite side. I'm going into like, if you have bicep tendonitis, I'm sticking it into your bicep tendon, getting down, winding that tissue, just trying to create like some tissue deformation. So I'm just changing the way that tissue is. And then with the stem, we're getting a lot of contractions to facilitate blood flow. So blood flow to the area helps clear out some of the stuff that you don't need there and bring all of the healing property there.
So
I am beyond sold.
Hey,
Sorry, really quick.
ahead.
Does it work on groins?
Yeah, I stuck his groin.
So for me, I pulled my groin,
Gross.
and
Get a room.
I don't like needles. I don't even like getting a flu shot. But I was in so much pain,
You stop complaining. Yeah.
and it was
You
so
haven't-
tight. I just
You just
said-
hit his shut up button. Is what you did.
I just was like, the pain was worse than the fear of needles in my groin. So I talked to Dr. Tracy.
and you're used to micro needles in
Mr.
your
Doctor.
groin.
Everything's
One.
everything's so micro down there, huh?
I'm surprised that was a shock to you, bro.
There's some things we say off the
One
podcast
micro-
should not come onto the podcast. So I sat there and I just went, balls to the wall since we're talking about that stuff.
Are these micro balls? Little balls?
I'm trying
Micro.
to talk about how this guy helped me.
All right.
And he
all right.
stuck them in
Hey, be nice.
very professionally.
Okay.
He stuck you.
But then when he hooked up the electrodes to it, I was like, oh shit, there's gonna be some shock through it. He's like, hey, you might feel something. And all of a sudden it's like, da, 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 da. And he's like, how you doing? I'm like, I think I'm doing okay. And after a while, I'm like, no.
It's not okay. Yeah.
No, but he will ask you.
Priapism.
I'll tell you what, it was so tight, but after I was done, it felt so much better. It's like it relieved all that. It's like your body, I guess, is reacting like it's in pain and trying to protect it. And I guess I don't know, it released all that tension on
You ever
it.
seen
So
Ben
that's-
Wilder?
Yes.
Yeah, and the bulldog. That's all it took.
A little bit of tension. Release the tension.
This is
Hey,
my
how
last
was
podcast.
how was the following morning? Was it hard?
Was it hard growing?
I am a spit out my shake.
My old lady got it here recently, and she was
What?
like, she got stuck in the arm because
Oh,
she has
okay.
elbow issues,
Okay.
and she was trying to get a little bit of information at a time, and I was like, "No, it's amazing, get the dry needling. She's had that, but then she goes, I've never had it. She's, with the electrodes, and she said my forearm was flopping around on the table like
It's
a
like you have
fish."
Tourette's.
Yeah, right.
I was saying,
But what's been great, I call it the shut up meter because she hasn't said anything about it afterwards.
complaining.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's cool how your body takes that stimuli, and like you're saying, whether it's that blood flow, it's just flushing that stuff out. But man, it really works because you compared it, because we talked about like the Theragun,
Right.
you got people are trying to get deep tissue massage through that, and it's not really as targeted as you want, but you're like, it's really focused.
Yeah.
I mean, it's down to the tip of that needle.
Right. And that's like, if someone's got back pain or something, like you could deep tissue massage all you want. Like I'm going to drop a 90 millimeter needle down into your back. So like,
Holy smokes!
you're not,
90 millimeter,
yeah.
can't like
You,
90.
you went like this.
Yeah,
What-
you went-
What is 90 millimeters?
what the?
That's 90 millimeters?
9 centimeters.
Holy shit.
Okay.
I mean,
so
it's-
like how much of
I
that
think-
9 centimeters goes in?
All of it. I'll bury it into somebody.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'd give all
Hey, is
of
that
it.
like an
Bro,
epidural?
balls, dude.
No,
If
you're
I
going
had
into the
90
muscle, not the.
If I had 9, yeah,
But
I'd give you
it's-
all of it.
Kinda.
But like, or if someone had like piriformis, you could potentially get into the glute
my
and
God.
drop that 90 millimeter needle into it.
Oh my God! What about sciatic? Sciatics? Is that did I say
Sciatic?
that correctly? That's not like microneedling, right? Sciatic.
Sciatica.
Are there-
Sciatica.
And to that point, especially with the sciatic nerve, I was in the beginning of boot camp.
It's sciatica.
For listeners, if you haven't gone through boot camp, of course you're going to get a whole lot of shots.
Oh, yeah.
Well, at that time, they line a few people up and they're giving all these tetanus shots. And I'm not.
They're like
lying.
cattle.
They're like cattle. Yeah, they're just.
They got
shot
the
after
gun,
shot.
right? It's like an 8-gun
No,
shot. Just
so
like,
they quit doing the shots right before I got there because people were jerking and it would rip them open. So
Yeah.
then they went back to traditional needles. But there
that's fun.
there were the kids learning how to give shots, one on each arm.
shit.
So they're just punching you, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's 5 of us across the bench, and they're giving this tetanus shots. And the dude next to me dropped and hit the floor. They smoked his sciatic nerve and went paralyzed from the waist down
What?
No.
with dry needling. Yeah, like punctured it, like whatever it was. He lost all use of his leg.
that's
Wow.
not good.
No, it's not
Not
good.
service connected for sure.
Yeah, so he got E5 pay for the rest of his life. I mean, but he's not walking, so so with that, yeah, it's like tomato, tomato.
We're just gonna gloss over that.
Are there some inherent dangers with potential nerve damage or triggering something that wasn't there? And how do
Less nerve damage, because when you're like going in with the needle, you can sort of feel like the tissue. So it's when you go into like somewhere that isn't flared up, it feels like you're dropping the needle through like water or through butter. Like it's just real smooth.
wow.
If you go to a tissue that is tight, it's gonna feel like ropey. Like it's gonna feel like you're trying to jam it through like a rope.
Okay.
And if you go to a nerve, especially like a big nerve like the sciatic nerve, it almost feels like, because the nerve has a nerve sheath, so as you go through it, you're gonna feel like you're hitting a trampoline, and you're gonna have to like basically disregard what you're feeling to be like, I don't know what that is.
Boom.
Slam.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it'd just be
Okay.
dumb to do
It's
that.
kind of like a knot in
Exactly.
wood, right? You get like you feeling the different densities,
Okay.
right, in the wood. Interesting.
Yeah, hey.
So the main inherent risk
great.
is like
I like
in
that.
the mid back, or in like the upper trap. If you do it wrong, you have a risk of puncturing a lung potentially. But like it's not that much risk. Like if you know what you're
Yeah.
doing, you shouldn't.
So what
do
happens-
that.
Wait, your lung from your shoulder? So like,
Yeah.
I got a lot of that. I actually
So the-
want you to like hook me up,
Yeah.
right?
But now not
But
so
it's-
much.
Yeah,
So-
it's the
Talking
neck.
about puncturing lungs, right?
So the trap, like the apex of your lung, so the top of your lung, basically like you can palpate. It's like here, like it is not far away. So if I were to try and drop a too long needle and go in that way, you could potentially do it. But if we're hitting your traps, I'm going to go completely away from the lung. Like I'm going
Okay.
up into the muscle, not down into the lung.
I want to talk about the training because you brought it up. I was like, yeah, how'd you learn? You're like, oh, I volunteered myself. It got stuck a million times.
Yeah.
Like, how, like, explain the training.
So it's like after PT school, it's a specialty. Like you get a certification after, and it's 3 8-hour days for each like upper and lower body. So I did 3 8-hour days for lower first, and then 3 8-hour days for upper.
Wow.
So yeah.
And then, like, you have, like, if we're all in a class, we get to stick each other, essentially.
Oh, absolutely. I've had everything stuck from like the lower side, started with like lumbar spine, all the, like they stuck into like the coccyx, which is the bottom part of your tailbone.
What?
Like all the way down to the plantar fascia, which is dropping a needle into
Don't
your
get excited.
foot.
Don't get excited.
Like it's
Like to what? To your foot?
Yeah, they'll drop a needle, like one of those 90s. They'll drop it into, it's called the calcaneal tubercle, where the plantar fascia attaches. You'll drop into that, and that sucks. That one's not fun.
No,
Also,
yeah.
like into the psoas. So the psoas muscle is a deep muscle. You lay on your side, and they'll drop that in there. And our instructor described it. He's like, when you hit that muscle, it feels like you got kicked in the groin. That's how you know you're in the right spot. And it was to a T. That's what it feels like.
Wow.
So can you use a hammer if you're like having a hard time? Do you guys have like a little hammer and go ding 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 ding?
No. No, just more
That'd
pushing.
be fun. Okay.
I don't think that was funny.
I wasn't
I
trying
don't
to be
appreciate
funny.
that comment.
No, because if let's say he's having a hard time getting into the right place,
This is
like
a serious podcast, all right? We're not, yeah.
Really really trying to hammer it home.
What do you, yeah.
So
Do you
what
even
is
know
the,
how to use a hammer?
I noticed
baby.
when you do
Which
it,
side?
you have a little bit of rotation.
Mhm.
What is that doing? Like,
It's like that's the tissue manipulation part. So if I were to just take like a sharp object and put it down into the muscle, you get a little bit of like tissue manipulation. But if I wind it, they've done like studies, like imaging studies that shows it like basically grabs the tissue around it and kind of you just get a bigger area of effect.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's got almost like an abrasion that it's like latching on to the stuff around it, or is it sticky, or what? How's
Yeah,
that?
the fibers around there are sticky and they kind of
okay.
catch as you twist that needle.
Interesting.
Amazing.
That's crazy.
I want to do this because you know what? Even though I have the discipline to go roll and go to the gym and do everything, the pain is always there.
Yeah.
And I find myself a little,
Go ahead.
sometimes a little discouraged. You know, motivation,
half hour
you
to
know,
say so.
drops because, you know, you got the pain. You got the, you know, you got to first overcome that obstacle. And then
No, and
once you get,
and you're
What the
doing
fuck
you're doing a program right now, right? Where I don't know if you're still doing it, but the couple sessions, right?
Yeah,
You're doing a
just
couple
trying-
sessions.
Yeah, after the roll-a-thon, just trying
Yeah.
to see if anybody needed any help before comp. Because it's
Yeah.
like I also don't want to be salesy with it either, but also like, if
Yeah.
you guys need anything, I'm here.
Yeah.
And
No, I wanted
You
to
know
pull.
what I
I
thought
wanted
was
to pull
epic?
that up, but
it's like you had you're
No,
like you
the
put your
doctor one,
offer
right?
out there, you know, for the jiu-jitsu group, you know, hey, if you need treatment, it's X, Y, and Z.
yeah.
And I didn't see anybody like jump on it, like at least in that chat group. And about 3 days later, you were like with that meme, so-and-so's got to get paid. What was the guy's name? He was like, Tank's got to get paid.
what is your Mr. Doctor page called?
Oh, BJJmovement.com.
Oh, BJJ.
oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. I love those explanations, by the way.
So that's where you're doing the promo, right?
Yeah, can we run one of those?
I don't want to pull up your personal page.
That doesn't look like it.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Yeah,
neck
yeah. These
cranks.
are.
Oh,
go to the reels
God.
because I actually had it cut to where you can actually like see what I'm doing there. Yeah, there you go.
This one?
Let's
Yeah.
see, let's
Yeah.
see.
Why
Why
we
we tap?
tap?
So-
Because your neck's breaking.
Shout out to this awesome page, dude. This page is like so informative. I'm learning so much from it, and
Yeah, me too.
you know, maybe you can tell us a little bit about it. You can voice over yourself. here.
So this was basically like Alex's brainchild. I told him that I wanted to, and as I was working with him on his shoulder, he was like,
Mm-hmm.
"You were talking about a lot of stuff that makes sense, and I think there's a niche for it in jiu-jitsu. Like, you're not gonna maybe appeal to the masses, but the people that like this, like, they're not gonna mind a 3 to 4 minute video of like what is actually happening
Yeah.
in a Kimura, what is actually happening in a neck crank." So this one was the neck crank one that we went through.
That was a quick tap.
Yeah, and that's so Alex has helped me a lot work through this because he's the jiu-jitsu side of it. Because I know like the anatomy, but I'm kind of throwing it out there, and he's like, "Nah, I don't know if that would work in practice." So we
look
ran
at
into that a couple times.
Yeah.
Wow, you dive deep.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
he's got CGs like doing little rotations and stuff, and he's like voice.
Yeah, very cool.
It's really cool. It's really
So
interesting.
What he showed there was Joe is missing a vertebrae. Holy mackerel.
He's like, what is that?
Also, my skull is shaped differently than
Yeah.
that skull.
It's really flat in the front.
Yeah, it's more of a slant on that forehead.
You got that prehistoric skeletal structure.
Back then, that was like protection when you're trying to hunt woolly mammoths and all that with those tusks. They hit you in the face.
Ooh,
Does
look at that.
Does doing this BJJ movement, does this help you when you're with your regular patients, like being able to, because some people have a hard time just speaking and like presenting and all that, but man, you look like you're natural at this.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Have you always been comfortable talking?
Not always, but it's definitely been for a while. And like I had said, I'd had a podcast before, so I've had a
Okay.
lot of exposure to that. Speaking in front of people doesn't really bother me that much if I know what I'm talking about. So even like when we're recording, Alex will make me recut some of the jiu-jitsu stuff because he's like, you're fumbling through because you're not confident in what you're saying. He's like, once you get into the anatomy stuff, I'll roll because I know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
Yep.
You got to do a couple takes on the other ones. Yeah.
yeah.
Dude,
It's
your
funny
hip
how
mobility is
sometimes we start
That's crazy, bro.
we start talking about certain topics, and if you're unsure of the topic, you start to over explain.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
that's when you kind of get lost, and you're like, wait, what was that? You just need to be quiet.
You gotta rein it
Cut
back in.
Rein it
This
back
was
in.
that,
But
That's
I
where
feel
Alex
like-
also is a good like buffer of like how far into the weeds do we want to get with this like explanation? Am I too much here? And I really try to keep it what I would consider like
somewhat
meaningful.
surface level, meaningful. Yeah, because once you get into the details, ESL, as long as ESL level, like you'll capture the majority
Yeah,
of the
if
people.
he understands it, then you did a great
Yeah.
job.
He wants to market to the ESL and layman's.
And people that have
Crowd.
IQs lower than the temperature of this room.
So
yeah.
on that note, before going too much into the weeds, I wanted to talk to, and Joe and I were talking about this earlier, and it was a pretty passionate conversation that we were having about discipline, something that's so simple. And, you got Jocko and everybody, including our lovely Richard, that talks about discipline, and he defines it, or most people define it as, well, actually, before I define it, or
Can I add one thing real quickly?
Yeah,
Before you-
sure.
Okay.
So if we're going to jump down that, let's at least get a baseline for definitions, because there's a myriad, big word, myriad of definitions out there. And depending on which dictionary you look in, you can look for different meanings for it. So, of course, one of them is the practice of training people to obey rules, which is not what we're looking for.
I want the curly-haired lady to explain it to me.
Curly-haired lady?
Yeah.
Not probably much.
Yeah,
But
please.
What I
Like
do
I'm back
like
in high school.
is here at like Merriam-Webster, the B definition, orderly and prescribed conduct or pattern of behavior, C, self-control. Let's see here, this other one, quality of being able to behave or work in a controlled way, which involves obeying particular oral standards. So a lot of these are talking about obeying orders, but I like this one, learning and applying intentional standards to achieve meaningful objectives, which really is sound. So yeah, just give us a baseline. Like for me, you may be asking this, like for me, like what discipline is very tied to that, is learning and applying with intention, standards and practices to achieve whatever that objective is. So
I'm so glad you pulled that up, because right now, and then I'll let you
Yeah, no
talk.
worries.
Because right now it's been kind of popularized. It's been it's kind of like a buzzword, right? So
Well, it's sexy to say.
it's good that we are covering this, because it's usually the ability to do what you have to do without liking it, even if you don't like it, right? Like push on.
Yeah, it's not all it is.
That's
right?
that's like the Jocko Willink, the motivational, the good. So I think that's a bit flawed, and that's how we started getting into this conversation. But go ahead.
And it was really interesting when I was helping the kids class today instructing. They have themes that they rotate through every week, and like one's respect, one's commitment. But today it was discipline, and it was neat to see what little 3, 5, 6-year-olds, 4-year-olds, all of them, saying it's basically you could ask them any question. I say, listen to your parents, don't bully, and it could be anything. But it was neat how we were talking about discipline before the podcast earlier today, and then it was something that Bruno in his gym is trying to instill within kids as young as 3. But having, it's something we know, but just trying to, and like we were talking, it's either you could show it to show that you really know it, or you can define it well.
Right.
So that's why we were bringing it up, because it's so important to all the things we do, whether it's discipline and what you do and what I do and what you do, and even on the mats.
And what you don't do.
And what you don't do, which is, so we were just wondering, because it's such a big part of not only jiu-jitsu, but just finding joy and success and balance your life. So what do you think discipline is?
Right. Well, I have my thoughts on it, but let's hear.
Let's go with our guest.
Let's go. Yeah.
I'm like, what is discipline?
What is discipline
to
like
you.
to you? What does discipline mean to you?
We know what Merriam-Webster thinks, right? We
Oh,
wanna know
and
what
real
Trace
quickly
thinks.
about Webster, that was, I got to take a little bit of kudos, because I remember they weren't sure about doing something like that. So you got to go for it, YOLO. Go out there and put those words down and start doing definitions. But I don't.
YOLO.
Yeah.
The YOLO.
YOLO did not
The
make
modern dictionary.
YOLO
I like
did not
that.
make the first edition, but that's okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I think coming from like my dad having a military background, growing up like a military brat, and I was in martial arts when I was 4, doing karate, taekwondo stuff. So it's always kind of been instilled that you're going to achieve the outcome regardless of what is required, I guess, if it is meaningful. So you're always trying to establish a goal that you want to work towards, and then it's just doing it. Like, it's not been something that you can argue about. Like in my 8th grade year, I did wrestling and hated it halfway through because of weight cuts and things like that. Just didn't want to do it.
Was that in Ohio or
That was in West Virginia.
West Virginia?
Yeah. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Probably because they were doing math, but go ahead.
maybe. But
Might help with the
He,
wrestling.
he,
probably
he
would.
speaks. He
It'd be
speaks-
great. It'd be great for weight cutting. Lots of
Yeah.
energy. Be
Fired up.
We all know that he speaks his mind and has no filter. So
And have
my
no discipline.
apologies. No
I'm sorry.
discipline. So you're saying.
And halfway through the season, I wanted to quit, and my dad was like, "You don't quit on your team. Like, that's not an option. You will finish the season because you've signed up for it. Like, you're getting to the end of this. If you never want to wrestle again, that's fine, but you're going to finish. You started something, you finish it.
Yeah.
And I think that's how, like, any goal that I set, I guess it's just that non-negotiable. Like, if you're going to do it,
Would that be more of a commitment
kind
instead
of.
of discipline?
I
'Cause
think-
that's commitment.
Go ahead.
I guess it's kind of hard to distinguish the two for me, because if I've got a commitment, you have to be disciplined to achieve that commitment.
Yeah.
I guess you could be disciplined without a goal and not have a commitment, but what are you disciplined towards if you're not actually pursuing something? So I think it's that intent.
Right. I see.
I think the important part with discipline is maybe even like the intentional doing of something towards that commitment, right? Maybe the progress. Maybe it's more linked to the progress. Like, I'm going to be disciplined about, having some progress or doing something of this thing, something tangible, right?
Yeah, just
Well,
doing a
check this out. Check that
simple.
out, yeah.
I'd say discipline versus commitment. Discipline is something that is outwardly motivated, sort of like a should. We might internalize this as should, as the idea of discipline, into our inner voice, as the voice we hear in our mind when we don't practice. Commitment, on the other hand, is a choice we make with our own intentions.
Right.
Okay.
No,
I
I
don't
dig
know if
that.
I-
I
I don't
dig
know if I
that.
dig
So
that.
so commitment is like, no, you made that commitment to finish, at least finish the season. Discipline is, I'm still having trouble like really
All right, so
defining it, aside from the popular, buzzwordy kind of definition where the ability to continue and press on.
Discipline has to do with you kind of uncompromisingly doing that thing. Like, there's no compromise in doing it, right? Like, if you're disciplined with something, you're not going to let anything kind of squeeze its way in and distract you from that thing.
Distract you. Okay, so how do you
right?
How do you do something that you're undistractable from?
All right. So
discipline,
like,
Right?
bro.
But the discipline, but
yeah,
what if
Right.
you don't like it?
I think,
Well, then you make the choice to.
yeah. And I
to
think
not do it,
discipline does evolve, right?
Mhm.
So in the very beginning, when you're young, the discipline is a set of rules, right? You can do this, you cannot do that. And same with the military, it rolls into that. They give you a set of orders, and that develops or
Yeah.
turns into discipline, right? You've got to follow them no matter what, per se. You know what the outcome is if you choose not to follow those rules. Or I kind of like this, where it says commitment is the dedication to the training. It takes you out the door every day. So it's committing to waking up to go do what you are committed to doing. Whereas the rule of the discipline side of it is, in the end result, that if I don't have the discipline to do this, the negative or positive, the outcome, if I don't follow these rules, will be a negative consequence, right? So,
That's a discipline.
right. So, like
Huh.
for instance, like discipline. If I'm disciplined in my workout regimen, I know that the end result will be X. If I'm not disciplined in my workout regimen, I know the result will be X. The commitment side of it is is the choice to get up every single day, to go out that door, to perform the act of discipline, getting that objective done.
Well, the commitment, I think, is if I commit to waking up tomorrow at 6 a.m. and going to the academy and roll, that's different than the discipline to get up and go. I'm committing to it, to myself.
Yeah. So like right here, it's it's following right with you. So for the committed athlete, it's never a question of whether you should or should not work out. It's only the question of when during the day that you work out. It's much harder for a disciplined athlete. I started understanding discipline as this link has got a good discipline, and it comes from the athletic side of it. So
Yeah, which is good.
Where, like you're saying, on the discipline side, you are analyzing what the effects are for not following that program, right? So I write programming.
How do you?
Hey.
Okay, so discipline is programmable.
It is. It's
I think there's the big thing here too is that for discipline there might not be that effect of having to do something, right? Where like a commitment, you have to wake up and you have to do it and you have to do the thing. But maybe there's a day where you don't have to. Maybe you're on vacation, right? Maybe there's that option where it's not necessarily mandatory for you in your commitment or your goal or whatever that thing is. But maybe you still have the discipline to say, hey, even if I'm on vacation, I don't have to go train. I don't have to go work out. I'm going to have the discipline. I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to go work out on vacation, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of the day with my family or whatever, right?
Wait. What do you mean, the discipline?
well, like for tell me if I'm wrong here.
Yeah.
I'm committed to the discipline of activity A.
Okay, so what is the discipline then? Because that's what we're trying to define. That's where I want to get to. What is discipline then?
I think you need to be disciplined so you could follow through on your commitment.
Yeah, it's knowing the results from not doing those actions. It's not the commitment of getting out there. The discipline side is the defined set of boundaries and or rules that allow you.
I think
to
maybe,
work.
how about like the discipline is doing it fully. So you can be committed, say like, I'm committed to go roll.
Yeah.
I'll show up
Okay.
at the gym. I'm disciplined to give it my all. Because I could sit out 6 rolls and, half-ass it and do that. I made my commitment, check that. But the discipline side is like, I'm going to actually go there and work on XYZ or give it
Yes.
my all potentially.
But to do that, you got to have the structure. Okay, so who is a famous athlete, top level athlete that we consider to be highly disciplined, top of his game?
Oh, thank you for
Kobe.
introducing me. Oh,
Okay, Kobe.
Thank you for having
Kobe,
me on
I
the
love
podcast.
that. That's a good one.
Kobe's
So
a great one.
he's definitely disciplined. So what do you think he will continue? Do you think he trains every day, even though he doesn't want to train sometimes?
Not anymore.
That's the commitment.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Jeez.
at the time.
Too soon?
Well, when someone gets mad
think
at
we're
me
just
for
at the
what
same
I
time.
say,
Fuck.
You said not anymore. I said trained.
All right, let's
Past tense.
Here. Sorry, I'm continuing to read on. Both the committed and the disciplined athlete do the workout. But the difference in the athlete with the discipline truly keeps the workout easy, whereas the committed athlete does the workout but may go too hard because they are simply feeling good.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, so going back to Kobe, or let's just use Michael Jordan or some of the other top athletes out there. So they're doing it because they love it, right? So so what is discipline? So they love it.
It's not a love thing.
Yeah. As a result, the disciplined athlete maximizes the workout, and the committed athlete ends up tired.
But why do they maximize the workout?
So maybe their workout that day was supposed to be an easy workout, like an easy run or an easy jog or something.
Yeah.
Somebody committed who's going to go in there and do it might like give it balls to the wall, but a disciplined one is saying, no, this is part of the plan. I'm going to stay true to my plan.
And why do they do that?
Because of the discipline.
But why do they do
because
that?
because they know they know what the result
intention.
The
maybe.
intention of it is.
Yeah.
Right? So, yes, I can go out there and train jiu-jitsu 7 days a week. I can be disciplined in that manner. But really, that's a commitment that I'm training 7 days a week, and I'm not listening, whereas a disciplined athlete will feel the body and understand, you know what, 7 days a week is not doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
It goes back to doing that thing that you didn't have to do.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I can work out hard today, but it's not part of my plan. I'm going to stay disciplined to my plan. I'm going to have an easy run today because that's what's programmed on my schedule, like whatever the thing is. Right.
So discipline. Okay.
So intention. I think it goes back
Intention.
to intention, right? Yeah.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
You're making a choice to be disciplined then, right?
Can you be disciplined or committed if you don't fully love what you want to be disciplined about or committed about?
For how long can you be committed if you don't truly love what
Can
you
you
do?
truly reach something? Like, does Kobe or Michael Jordan, did they love every aspect of what they needed to do to be one of the greatest basketball players? Or do they... So do you think...
Okay, quick question. Are you committed to your job, or do you have the discipline to show up every day?
I'm committed to the kids, my job. Yes.
Right. You have a commitment there, right?
Yes.
Part of that discipline is
making sure,
making sure those kids.
no matter what happens.
Right, but
Like
now
COVID.
we're entering a different territory there because if you okay, do I love my job? Now we're talking about jobs.
I don't think it has anything to do with love. I don't think we should enter love.
Yeah,
into
no.
the thing.
I'm
I
just
think
saying,
it
are you
does.
committed to your...
You think it does?
I disagree.
Okay.
I think it has a lot to do with love because if I truly love somebody, I will fight through the pain. It wouldn't even be pain. It's not even an issue.
So, perfect. You're committed. Because regardless of how much you love, you're not worried about the end result. You are putting as much effort into it over training as possible. Whereas somebody disciplined with love would understand that there is a give, a take. Some days you love more. Some days you will love less. Right? Because like in a dating sense.
I always like to love more.
Oh, I
But
bet.
you could love too much. Right?
You can never love too much. Okay, that's it. That conversation gone. You can
right.
never love too
Never
much.
had anyone tell me that.
Google that. Google that. Can you love too much?
No.
Do you think, as in this case here, because it's a great debate here, do you think the two are easily confused?
Oh, yes. Look at our discussion.
Yeah. Oh,
exactly.
absolutely.
Right.
So let me ask the doctor, are most injuries caused due to being overcommitted or over-disciplined? Or
Well, they're two. See, from my perspective,
brain is not
discipline
smart enough.
are two different. They're two different things. I think discipline is planning and structuring around.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the planning and
And-
structuring.
Yes.
It's removing all temptations. Like if you go to the gym and there's no donut shop, right? Because then that'd be counterintuitive, right? So there's
God,
a
I'd eat a
discipline there.
Yeah.
You know,
And to line up right with what you're talking about, discipline requires the athlete to be aware of the effect of the training to the body.
Yeah, to kind of answer your question, I don't think you would ever have an injury that happens because you are over disciplined. You definitely could have an injury that happens because you're overcommitted.
Yeah.
Because that's I think what
That's why
happens
I
in your
wanted to
first
ask the
bit of
question,
jiu-jitsu
yeah.
is like people are like, I love this, and it's like,
7 days a week.
yeah, your body's not meant for that
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
so-
there's not even, it doesn't even make sense in terms of English language being over-disciplined, but over-committed is something that's
Yeah.
more frequently used.
Yeah.
You're
Even on a
overcommitted.
even on an individual move basis, right? You have a really tight, underhook or really tight something, and you're really overcommitting to it. Maybe you're putting yourself in danger a little bit. But maybe the disciplined person's like, nope, I'm just gonna keep hopping
yeah.
until
you
this
mean like a
person flops, right?
Paper cutter.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, he's
there
very
you go.
He's very
disciplined
yes.
about the paper
But
cut.
Yeah.
he's also committed to finishing it.
Do you overcommit to the paper cutter?
I think he overcommits to always using
No,
it.
I don't think you do.
No, I don't.
I think you're
overcommit.
very
can't overcommit when you always
are
finish it.
disciplined with
You
that.
just are good at it.
Yes.
I just pause
Yeah.
a little bit.
When
I
you-
just don't continue. I pause, and then there's an opening. Then
It's
I
the
kind of.
You're
discipline.
disciplined. You
goes
see
in.
that? There you
Then
go.
it's it.
It all
Yeah.
comes back to the paper cutter, dude.
It all comes back.
It all comes back.
But discipline is structure. Okay,
Yeah.
let's break it down to ESL level. So, so discipline would be
Okay, let me-
having the structure,
can I-
having your shoes out the night before, setting it up so that in the morning your shoes, your gi, whatever gear you're taking to the gym, it's already neatly folded,
That's
ready
discipline.
for you to go when you wake up in the morning. Hydrating the day before.
What?
Hydrating the day before because I remember that Tuesday when I had
Yeah.
belly cramps. Define that. What the fuck is that? First time.
Yeah.
My abs were
Because
cramping
you actually
up.
did sit-ups for once.
That was so bizarre.
Instead of pretending and just head raises.
You know what the funny part is? The more you laugh, the tighter they get. The more the
yeah.
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 it was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Never laugh so hard you get cramp in your
Okay,
jaw.
let me throw
Okay.
it back to you.
Okay.
Yellow tortillas. Are you disciplined about making them, or are you committed?
No. Now we're
Neither.
We're
We've never had
cheapening
'em.
this conversation. This is actually going somewhere. Hold on. But I still love you. I don't know why I said that.
I don't even think you make yellow tortillas. We're on episode what now?
18.
I still haven't
Commitment.
tasted
See, commitment versus what is that?
See?
So
Not quite.
So I guess it's I'm gonna say it's structure. But see, okay, here's where I was going. You're not going to set up your shoes, you're not gonna set up your meals, you're not gonna prepare unless you love that thing you are doing, that sport you're doing, that whatever it is.
No.
You gotta love it.
No.
Otherwise you won't
Go back to his wrestling days, which welcome back to the
Wait,
I'm glad you
Now
came
it's
full
fun.
circle,
I don't
but
have to weight cut.
yeah. But eighth
Right,
grade
he-
wrestling, it was a commitment.
It was a
Right?
commitment.
It was a commitment.
But he wasn't disciplined because he went through it, and once it was done, like that's it. So you finished what you started. That was a commitment. You didn't love it. So in order for there to be disciplined in an art, in a form, I think you got to love it.
Not
I think
every
you really-
aspect.
Overall, you got to love it
Yeah.
because then you get obsessed with it and you just go with it.
Can you be disciplined about something you don't love, but the goal, the return?
Well,
that you
that's
get-
work. That's millions of people. Like,
yeah, it's
we're
discipline.
disciplined about work, but we don't love it. But are we committed? I think that's more commitment to the household, to generating income and having a livelihood.
But you could also be like right down the road. If you're overcommitted to your work-life balance is out of balance, right?
Hell yeah.
Like if you're overly committed to your work, then you are out of balance somewhere else.
and if
So,
like,
Professor Bruno, I know he loves what he does. He fucking loves it. So, is he overcommitted? I mean, I don't think he
But
is.
No,
there's
because
something-
he takes his time off. He takes
Yeah.
his breaks.
Yeah.
He's disciplined about that.
I think
right?
he has
Yeah.
discipline
Yeah.
in his life, in the form.
because I think the overall goal for me, back to goals, the goal is something you want to achieve. It's an objective. But there's going to be things that you like, of course, and things you don't like. But you get through all those things because what you achieve is the objective. And sometimes a lot of it's easy, and there's a little bit of bad, and sometimes a lot of it's bad. But like, think as a teacher, think about like going to school. Not a lot of people like to go to college and take all these classes, especially if you're like in the medical field or engineering. There's some shit you got to go through because the objective is I want to be able to get a degree so I can have a job to support myself and hopefully family one day. There's not a lot of
That's
people.
a commitment. That's committing to the end result.
Hold
Because
So-
why would you do something you don't love? Why would you do something you don't love?
Because
do
of the
it for other
reward.
people?
For other people. So that's a commitment to others. It's not to yourself. Like, it's not like you.
But you can still have discipline in doing that thing.
Yeah.
It's I think it's orthogonal to the love.
Wait,
Good
what?
word.
Wait, what?
Yes.
What is that
Orthogonal.
word?
Can you look that up?
This
That's
is
not a
this is
word
the
I-
big word podcast. That's what we're gonna name it. I'm trying to impress Mr. Doctor over here, dude. I'm
Mr.
trying to-
Dr. Trace.
Sounds like a bone in my body.
What is that? Orthogonal?
Orthogonal. So it's like
Orthogonal.
unrelated, like totally.
Why didn't you say unrelated then?
Complete. Yeah. Right.
I'm
answer.
I'm trying to impress our
well-read,
frosted
and I've
tip.
never seen or heard
freaking-
that word in my life.
Really?
I am very well read.
Really?
I've never no.
He's an educator. 27 years.
I think you need to up your game,
And if you-
Mr.
if-
Educator.
Orthogonal.
if you
That's a
use-
math word.
Yeah.
So it's a math word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
so-
That's an engineer word.
So, by the way, we never commented on the frosted tips.
What are you talking about?
Your frosted tips.
Whoa.
What frosted tip?
Look at the back of that. Look at the back of that nice, beautiful, spiky hair.
Can we get a
Yeah, it's right
close-up?
there.
Is
It's
it
right
on?
there. You
Okay.
just has to look.
Okay.
Look to the left. Look to the right.
Ooh.
I think it looks better on me.
He is
Yeah, Steve.
committed to wearing that.
Dude, it fits your
It fits.
colors.
Yeah.
Like it's totally fits. I love it.
Like I'd buy you a
It
drink
looks like
in the
that's
bar.
your hair.
I think people are gonna see this and think you have a full head of frosted tips.
He does have a full head of hair, by the way.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He's got good hair.
They're
my
gonna
man.
know.
He's got good
They're gonna
hair.
know. Yeah.
When it does grow out, is it curly straight or like that?
Afro poof.
No.
Chia pet.
No.
Straight. It will eventually lay
How
flat.
much money would it take for us to come
that's
up with for
dope.
you to grow it out for 3 months?
Charity.
Oh, it would.
Would
it's
you do it
annoying.
for
I
charity?
get real like because I've cut my own hair since I was like 13 because it's just a 3-blade.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Buzz cut,
not
yeah.
hard. So I don't. As soon as it starts getting poofy, I don't like dealing with.
So
it.
like a Broflovski thing, like a Kyle Broflovski thing?
Or a Shane
Or what?
O'Malley.
I don't know what a Broflovski is.
No,
Hey,
just
look
a
it up,
South
look it
Park
up.
character.
Oh.
What about a Shane O'Malley?
No, I don't. He's curly. He's doesn't
So-
right. He's like
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think mine curls.
Can we look up like
Like that, like
Oh
that, kind,
my
like this
God.
kind of.
this is a new high for a
Probably.
podcast, a South
Like
Park
this?
That'd be
reference.
close.
No way.
Hey Kyle.
I'm gonna call you Dr. Broflovski, bro.
Again,
That's awesome, dude.
what is the number here? I want to figure out if we can get this. Let it grow out for 3
For
months.
charity, for charity.
I don't
Charity
know.
of your choice. I think
Grow
the
it out
whole-
for charity.
I think the gym would. I
Would
think
it
we
I
piss
could
think
off-
we
spend
should.
money for
I think
that.
we should all grow it out for charity. That'd be a cool
I'm
thing.
not growing mine out. I would look
Question
like a
is,
monk.
would it piss off all the veterans?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
No, that's not
Curly,
really.
huh?
No, that's not really him, though.
Who?
Christopher. That's not really him.
No, he has frosted tips.
Yeah.
That's frosted tips.
We'll just keep it there. It's a sad day. I would
Oh
love to
my
see the
gosh.
hair.
All right, so let's wrap this discipline stuff out because I don't really know we got anywhere, but let's just.
I think we need to
Summarize it.
agree to disagree because I don't know if we're gonna get on alignment here. I think we got different opinions.
Okay, so how do
And
you?
that's okay.
How do you set yourself up and structure yourself up to have more discipline?
Or commitment.
Oh,
What's the secret ingredient to discipline? Maybe.
As much as we did not like the original definition of discipline, and some of these say punish, but it really is setting a set of, for me at least, I believe it's setting a set of rules within yourself to get to that objective, to get to that goal, right? So you
Right.
are going to set boundaries that allow you to achieve the commitment that you're trying to achieve. But it's not even a but, within those rules, you have to build in a balance, right? I think with discipline, there has to be some type of balance. So for me, it's defining really just a set of boundaries or guidelines or rules for yourself to achieve that structure, right? You're building structure that will allow you to do those things.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Does commitment
Okay.
have structure? I don't think it has the same structure as discipline.
No, because what we've read
No, it's
here
just knucklehead.
is
Let's go.
commitment is just
Yeah.
full throttle,
Full throttle,
full
yeah.
send. Whereas
Yeah.
and it kind of talks
Ooh,
about
I
that.
like
Whereas
that.
like
That
if you,
works for me.
Yeah.
a disciplined athlete, according to this write-up, and I did like it. Say you got to go for an easy run. The disciplined athlete, and it's your programmed easy run day. You've written it out. The disciplined athlete will make that an easy run. The committed athlete will end up tired because they won't.
Got it.
They
I like
won't.
that
They
better.
won't
I like
do
that.
the easy run. They're gonna
So
go.
structure. It's all about programming and structure.
It's the structure.
It's the structure of it.
And the very, very highly disciplined athletes have a coach.
Like in
coach.
in wrestling, you can be committed to that weight cut making your goal. Some people will do it disciplined and like eat healthy, do all
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Commitment might be I'm gonna make it, but I'm gonna do a 10-pound weight cut
Yep.
of water and just be
Yep.
dehydrated and just
Joe.
suck.
Yep.
Joe.
Yeah, I'm going through that.
Joe.
Trace here has been helping me lose weight for the Austin Open, and I haven't been committed or disciplined.
You could still be committed.
You-
I-
You just got to get to the outcome.
Am I the bad coach telling you to cut water weight on the last day?
I'm
the bad coach. You gotta be a good coach.
I would rather be for the next comp after I make my weight cut of 14 pounds in less than 3 weeks, but I'm halfway there after like 8 days.
14 pounds. Damn.
I've lost. Let's see. Today's Wednesday. I've lost over 7 pounds since Monday of last week,
And you
Damn.
have
and I still
and a half.
have a week and a
7
half.
more to go, right?
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
On the day.
Should be.
Yeah, and
it's gonna be rough.
July 4th was rough. But I put myself in there because I wasn't disciplined. I didn't have the structure. He kept telling me stuff to do.
You
And
even had an accountability partner here.
Yeah, and then I'm reading the text, and he's like, dude, he's being nice, but basically he's like, get your shit together, kid. Why am I even freaking helping you? But he said it nicer than I would. You know, I'm like, hey, I had this tonight. He's like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
They're like, I sent you exactly what you need to do. And I did. He gave me a structure, a spreadsheet for what I need to eat for every meal and snacks, and gave me variations. And I was not following that structure.
Right, because you committed to the weight cut, but you didn't have the discipline
Yeah.
to follow.
Yeah.
Bam. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And unfortunately, we used another aspect of my freaking life to teach people out there how to make their lives better.
That's what
So
you do.
thanks,
You're a
thanks a
teacher.
lot for
You're a
bringing that
teacher,
up.
dude.
You're a teacher.
You're a teacher.
It's in
You're
your
a
Yeah, but I'm not
blood.
gonna. My have we talked about any success I've had on these podcasts?
Yes, we
Tell me off the top of your head.
Your 25th wedding anniversary. It's coming
Yeah.
up.
That is not success. That's my wife being great. That has nothing to do with me. She shouldn't even married me.
I'm gonna tell her.
patient
I
with
hope
it.
she's. Hey, it is successful that you guys have been married for 25 years.
That's great.
That's
but,
a huge
but a big
success.
part's on her. I love it. I love her more than anything. Name another one.
Your business that you're starting. Your
I just
education.
started that. That's not a success
That's
thing.
a decision
Oh,
that you
Jesus.
made. You made a decision.
You're-
You know
you're
that's a
committed.
tough.
Good.
Hey, did you wake up today?
Oh my God! I'm asking you guys for something besides that. Yeah, well, so I'm successful because I
Your
woke.
wrist
I didn't
locks.
die.
Your
Every-
wrist locks.
every
What about your
turn-
Oh
wrist
yeah,
locks?
my wrist locks are actually
There you
successful.
go.
I feel better now. Look at this
Come on,
smile.
guy. Yeah.
So
Coming back too.
I'll tell you some of the things I do to, when I have goals, like if I want to lose weight. Seriously, is I'm a sucker for bread and tortillas, especially yellow corn tortillas. Like I love them, and chips and all that. Like I love my carbs. So when I do cuts, I get rid of all the carbs in the house. I don't have tortillas. I don't have.
Your whole family suffers because
Well, no, no.
no more cars.
Actually, yeah, kind of.
Throwing them out.
Lose weight. We all lose weight.
We're all doing it
Actually,
together.
that's my wife. Like she would. Oh, she's
That's
like
so
something
funny.
else when it comes to that. But I set up my environment. I set up my environment for
Yeah.
success. So that's part of the
Structure.
structure. Yeah. So yeah, it goes back to this. So I guess it
Yeah,
is structure.
A little bit of structure, planning, staying committed.
But I don't
to your
love
plan.
it. I don't love doing it, so it's not sustainable. See, that's
Yeah, but going back to your job,
doesn't have
too, you
to
can
be
be committed to
forever,
your job,
yeah.
but are you disciplined enough to do the stuff day in and day out that's going to make you successful at doing it? You can be like, I'm committed to this thing, and you can go down a bawling flame.
imagine if you loved it.
Bawling flame.
Yeah, I mean
Imagine
ESL,
if you
so it
loved
works.
It's not real world though.
So imagine if you
Hey.
loved it.
Do you love? Would you say you love what you do?
Oh, that's excellent.
Yes, but I don't love having to work 40 hours a week punching in and out. That's what I don't love of my career, is that it is like, I love what I do in the gym, treating people who I know, and we're getting back to like a goal. There's some issues in, I think, the way that healthcare is set up that it makes it a little bit harder to love all aspects of healthcare.
Yeah.
I love
see.
treating people. I love physical therapy. I don't love like having to be in a clinic for 40 hours a week.
Yeah. Can you? I mean, I don't want to get too intrusive, but can you speak to like some of those things in the medical industry that?
And
you're
that
not
is
too-
for episode
that for the next episode?
28.
Damn it, dude.
We'll program it in.
It's because he's disciplined. He has
I'm
a
disciplined.
structure.
Wow.
Well, no, I am actually not disciplined at all because we're at an hour and 26 minutes. So we got 4 minutes to wrap it up.
Wow, you're right.
So we're
Time
going to
flies.
move into one of our
Get back to that.
favorite
So
segments.
let's do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'll ask him later. It's
Best
okay.
Yeah.
ever.
So
Oh wait, we didn't get that on camera. There you go.
So we have affirmators here, and this is number 18, so don't blow it.
Affirmators.
Yeah, affirmators, and these are cards or affirmations. Most of them are stupid, but we do it anyway. And so what we do is
Kung
we
Fu
pick
Panda.
a card. We have our guest pick one. It's rando. But what's been weird
Dude.
for all the episodes, there is a connection. It is so weird. So we need to continue the streak. So pick the first one. We don't know what's there.
Hey, don't add any pressure.
If you pull discipline, I'm gonna freaking.
slide it
I'm
out.
I'm going to
freak
just
out.
shut this podcast.
I'm gonna freak out.
Oh no!
If
Yeah.
you pull discipline,
If you
I'm
pull-
gonna freak out.
I will scream.
Is there? Oh,
We're okay.
Confidence.
Okay.
oh,
I got a camera.
It's a cool one. Okay.
confidence.
So confidence. In this moment, I take a step back and look at myself with the pride of a good mother. I see an abundance of abilities and talents that show up all the time in big and little ways. If I could stick myself on a refrigerator, I would. I would invite all the neighbors over and say, look at that. Can you believe what an A+ that is? Confidence.
We did talk about confidence today, though. Confidence in speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We actually said the word confidence
Confidence.
today already.
did.
Yeah.
we did. We did. That's
What's
a
the
good one.
picture?
It's a refrigerator.
It's a fridge. Put
With-
yourself up
with
on a
magnets.
fridge
So
with
we're-
magnets.
So,
I like that.
So step back and
So
look
with
at
the
myself
discipline and the
pride of a good
commitment,
mother.
you have to be
I love me.
confident that you actually could do it. You have to have goals you could achieve. Correct?
Yeah, hold on. Which camera are you going to?
Yeah, because you're aiming at
Hold
the.
on.
Oh.
Right
He's
now.
got it
Yeah,
right
cover
there.
me
You
up.
got it.
Thanks, Johnny. Jeez, worst episode ever.
Hey, that.
Yeah.
Hey, you were an educator again.
So my
Like
take
the
on
I'm just
it.
gonna hold this here for the
Yeah, I
rest
think
of
it's a little bit deeper than that. In order to make the commitment or be disciplined about what you want to achieve, it's about achievable goals too, correct? You have to be confident
Oh.
or try that
Oh.
you can.
What is
there.
achievable then? Like, no, that's a whole different rabbit hole.
New
like,
podcast.
Don't see. Yeah, that's a new podcast. What is achievable? Because
You already cut Johnny off. You're going to cut me off too?
Everyone's getting cut off. Highlander, bro. What's going on?
I
I'm
know,
gonna call you
what the hell?
Highlander from now on.
you know what? I need to
Paper cutting people
I need to-
on the podcast and in the gym. What's going on, dude?
So, Joe, what do you think? Okay, that's time, guys.
Hey, this one I have been a little saucy.
have
huh?
a beer, dude.
I know. I didn't have.
That's
I
why.
think I'm hyper. Like boom. Like hey,
It's
let's
just
go.
because we didn't like his take on discipline. So
Yep,
it's passive aggressive
No.
as shit.
Just because.
I
you
bet
were
if
the
I go,
educator.
and I'm going to go through all the episodes, I bet you the ones where we agree with you, you're more happy than the ones when we disagree with you.
Yeah.
What's your take on it?
No,
Christopher?
I believe. I kind of like that
Let's
path
go
you
ahead
were
and-
going down with, where
if you're gonna,
anything with the discipline and that commitment, you got to have some level of confidence that you're going to get there. Because why would you set a goal that
Yes.
you're not going to be like? If you set a goal and you're not confident of hitting, how successful do you think you're going to be?
you're not going to be committed. You're not going to be disciplined.
Yeah, right. But if we have confidence in the end means, we're going to be either more committed to it
Or at least attempt.
and have better structure at getting there. So I think confidence does play into it. Like we were talking about earlier, where you mentioned like over time you've built up the confidence to be able to do your podcast, speak intelligently on the things that you're doing. And I think that goes for all of us, especially in the Jiu-Jitsu community. I mean, he is very confident with his paper cutter.
Disciplined.
Committed. So he's all three of those. I honestly think a lot of these that we have pulled up.
Wait. Hold on.
Yeah. Cut me off.
You're done.
You're
You're done. You're done.
It's a trifecta.
Right there,
Oh my
you're done.
gosh! Why are we even on the
very-
podcast?
He's very confident in cutting
Oh
people
my
off.
gosh.
But I
Cut
think
fit in,
without
bro.
confidence, with much of these that we have on the board, I don't think they line up. Right? I think out of all these, some of these affirmators we have, I think confidence is like one of those backbones that you need to have. So
Well, and then it has to be, I think, in terms of we talk about having purpose, making an impact, having success. So Trace has been helping me, but if he's like, "Hey Joe, you can lose 40 pounds in a month," I'd be like, "I can't do that. What am I going to do? Cut off my legs?" But if I'm confident, then I'm going to give it a shot. Now, whether or not I'm disciplined or committed enough, that's nothing. But I have to think I could do it before I actually go into the commitment route or the discipline route.
How do you know you can't lose 40 pounds? Are you a doctor?
Can I dunk a basketball?
No, wait. Are you a
There's
doctor?
limits.
White man can't jump? Are you saying white man can't
I
jump?
am
I mean, I
not
saw the
white.
movie.
he's
There's
not
remaking
white,
it.
So
I said,
yes.
oh, that's going to be cool. I can't
What
wait.
is the reasonable amount of weight that Joe could lose
Oh, Jesus.
that Joe.
in the next 10 days?
I love his Joe.
In the next, I mean, I think his cut is reasonable.
I think it's
you-
reasonable,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Yeah.
not a crazy cut.
You
not
can
a
lose
crazy
a pound.
Had he had the discipline? Absolutely.
Could have been easier. Could have been an easier cut.
It should have been so much better. I want to okay, real quickly. I went on vacation like the other episode. We were gone 8 days, and I ate pizza 8 times. Not every day. One day I ate it 3 times.
Oh, my
breakfast,
God.
lunch, and dinner. And I'm like, what? I don't know what I was doing.
Pizza for
I was in
breakfast?
love with vacation.
I don't think
And
There's
pizza.
a little part of me that hopes that you have to do a really drastic water cut
Just to
for the
teach me a
fun of it.
lesson?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you have the discipline next time.
Yeah, because Trace is like putting the effort.
But-
He's your
but when
accountability
you're-
partner,
when you're
and
on
then
vacation with your kids and your wife, I can't say I'm not going to eat.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can.
because I don't have the discipline.
Discipline, boy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Boy.
So you must not love
Hey.
what you're doing.
Dude, I
On the
ate so
competition.
much pizza.
He loves that pizza.
Hey.
That's what he was loving at that
Hey, I'm
moment.
Kryptonite.
Hey, I'm kind of an enabler because I took him to that sushi.
Oh
place.
yeah, you're a POS too. And so we were working the other day. You know, as I weight cut, he goes, "Hey, we could go get sushi."
It was sashimi. It's low fat, like no fat, and no carbs. Well, there was some carbs in there, but
Hey Joe, you
I
can
think
have one
sashimi
beer.
does have fat in it.
yeah, but fat's okay as long as you don't have the carbs. But we had the carbs. so,
You got a beer and stuff, right? Did you drink
yeah. We had a beer too.
Oh.
No, did we have a beer?
Yes, we
Oh yeah,
did.
just one though. Just
Must
one.
have been enough because you forgot.
It was so good. Oh my god, he was dreaming the whole. Oh my god,
Oh, the sushi was
Where'd you guys go?
a little
shout out?
hole in
to
the wall.
heaven.
On the wall?
Antin. It's
Antin?
a
Have you been to
Vietnamese.
sushi to the moon?
I have not.
No.
It is phenomenal. It will. You go in there. It's
You should have a mouthgasm.
Oh.
Have you guys ever heard that term?
speaking of which.
No.
It's when your mouth feels so good, it feels like you're having an orgasm.
In
See-
your mouth?
See, this is
I don't
why.
know that I want a mouthgasm anymore.
It's a Friday night.
Hey, is this a good time to like cut? Should I have cut him
Yeah,
off?
I
on the-
think-
in
I
that-
need to cut that off.
You should have put that in the header when you were talking about good things that happened this week.
Yeah,
I had
Mouthgasm.
multiple mouthgasms.
This just went down the rabbit hole.
All right. Summarize it. Let's do it.
do
Because
it.
we got to end this. We're at a minute
All right.
34.
I need to be disciplined
1
about
minute
this.
34.
So at the beginning, we talked about with our great guest here, the doctor, how Jiu-Jitsu.
Mr. Doctor.
Yeah,
Mr. Doctor.
like a lot of people, it's just an outlet for us to get out of the real world and kind of make our mind at peace. And all of us kind of have that story. And then he's always had this need, like a lot of us, serving others. The love of wrist locks and how it's the greatest thing you can do in jiu-jitsu. And I agree with you, Trace. And not only are you expert in terms of like the medical world, but in terms of submissions, I would agree with you 100%. Wrist locks are the #1 submission. And then we went into dry needling and how you could stick needles in bodies and for good things, and you have to be careful because bad things can happen.
Yeah,
And-
they can go into your lung very
Yeah.
easily.
yeah, and then they made fun of my microneedle, and then just hooking electrodes to it. And then we talked about his cool Instagram. Shout out again to BJJ_movement.
movement.
Dot
Let's put
movement dot underscore doc. So BJJ_movement
You got beautiful hips.
underscore doc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
BJJ_movement.
Those are the hips
underscore
most
doc.
women would be jealous of.
I am jealous of the couch stretch, by the way. You got
God, it's
right
That's a
there.
lot
Wow.
of time. That's
Damn.
a lot of time trying to get that stupid stretch down.
well because you're disciplined.
And you love it.
I love being able to
And
move.
he's committed.
And
Yeah,
then
see? Yeah.
the long argument
Confident.
or discussion, I should
And
say, of discipline and commitment. And I'm
Yeah.
committed to you.
I don't think we finished that conversation. That
I don't
thing's
think
like
that-
never ending.
It's gonna go on forever.
Yeah. What is discipline? Fuck.
It's like, what is love? What is love?
Baby, don't.
hurt me.
Baby, don't hurt me. But if I'm hurt, then I can have Dr. Trace fix me,
With needles.
needle me. Baby, needle me.
Any parting words, Mr. Dr. Trace?
No, I mean, this was fun. I appreciate you guys having me on. It's
It
an
was
awesome
okay.
setup. It
Most
was
of it was stupid.
Good.
No. Yeah,
Johnny.
thank you for
Johnny
coming
O.
on, Trace. Yeah, we really appreciate everything you do for everybody in the gym. I think you're a great source of knowledge and physical health, and also, obviously a great member of our jiu-jitsu family. So really great having you around. So yeah.
I honestly, dude, congratulations. Being a father is a huge
Yes.
step. So 2 months is a big landmark. Yes, I kind of feel you. Kids can be puppies. But with that,
10X.
yeah, I've had the direct benefit of your therapy. So thank you very much.
Yes.
Same with my wife. It's been a huge benefit. And then the fact that you're just one of the OGs. In the shitty sweatshop.
The latrine jiu-jitsu.
One of the reasons we do love this group is, one, we get to hear your story, but we can have discussions and we can have these debates, and at the end of the day, nobody's getting upset, but it's just great to hear everybody's point of view, and we can go around.
Real
Louis was
quickly, and we
upset.
can talk next time. The fact that we could choke each other, submit each other, that's a different relationship. So I think when we have disagreements, we're okay with that too.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people want it.
Yeah.
We'll have to explore that.
But I do
Is that mind blowing?
Yeah.
diving into discipline versus commitment actually triggered me to kind of reevaluate some of the things or how I approach certain items, whether it be work, whether it be the jiu-jitsu, or even family in itself. I think those two are almost inherent with each other. So I think it was a good topic. I love the confidence card. May not as tied in as well as others have, but I think it just builds on everything that we were doing here. The more we do, the more reps, the more confident we get. So I do appreciate you guys. So thank you very much.
And we improve 1% every day, right? Because
Or
the
what are we
discipline.
doing?
So yeah, the whole discipline versus commitment. I mean, that was.
I'm gonna have to
That's
cut you off there.
such a.
All right, let's go.
All right, so what do we do here, Trace? And you might have seen.
Hey, I had a drink now. So
Yeah.
I don't,
High five.
All right. God, I love you guys.
oh my God, was I that blunt?
No, it's good.
Yeah, 3 times you were.
So, because I was passionate about the whole discipline versus, I think that's what it is. This podcast, this episode, I've been very
Overcommitted.
like super passionate about this whole discipline versus commitment, because there is a buzzword out there. Oh, discipline to do everything you need to do without liking it. Yeah. I think it's a buzzword, and I think it needs to be exposed. We need to become aware of it. And I love the comparison with commitment, because commitment is knucklehead, let's go, and then discipline is let's develop a plan and let's stick to it.
Stick to the plan, yeah.
And I will do it because I love it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a different. Now that's where the discussion is kind of sideways.
Yeah.
But
Orthogonal direction.
orthogonal.
Diagonal. I like that.
But
I'm gonna start using it. I like that.
Please.
what did I say too? Like, I used some fancy word that
You said triangle.
trying.
No.
Yeah, it is a rectangular situation.
But Trace, thank you so much for making the time. I know it's a commitment to get out here, and we really appreciate you. It was very educational. I want to learn more about the dry needling. I was going to say microneedling. Look at that. Like,
I can help you with that.
I don't know why. The dry needling, and see who else. Like, how can anybody else, like, even at the
How can
gym,
we get
like,
more people to you?
Yeah.
Like for treatment wise,
For treatment, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, I just take whoever's at the gym. If someone reaches out, if you've got a pain, like the biggest thing I think with PT and knowledge is asking the question of like, why does this hurt?
Mm-hmm.
And like Johnny's asked of like your foot. We didn't have to needle it, but it's like, hey, what can I do?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't mind talking through stuff like that, and explaining why things hurt. That's why we started the Why We Tap series. Like you're breaking down. It doesn't. I feel like healthcare and like medicine in general it's scary to some people because you don't know. Like you have no idea what's going on. It becomes much less crazy when it's like you're not dying, it's not broken, you didn't tear anything. Like time will heal a lot of this. There's some things we can do to expedite that process.
Right.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to, get dry needling, can they go to your website?
BJJ Movement Doc.
So let's pull it up. I'm going to put the handle in the description. It's BJJ_movement_doc. And we'll make sure, if you are interested, make sure you go check it out.
And Trace,
That's
what
a
I like,
pretty
it's
sweet
not
logo.
only helping people, but
that
it's
him?
the true
Is that Trace?
caring and the time and the love you
With
put into
hair.
the people too. I personally want to thank you for being patient with me and helping me. I know I will be ready with the weight drop because
We'll work
of what
on the
you're doing.
discipline, right? We'll
Yeah.
work. Was that an interrupt? Did I interrupt?
Yeah.
No.
It's
That's a
gentle.
smooth interrupt. All right.
If you need a last minute water cut, let me know. I can help you out
Yeah,
there too.
that's what I'm going to go discipline then commitment.
Excited for it.
That's gonna be a cycle. Hey, I got a sauna too, so you can.
So you got a sweatsuit? You just
Yeah.
old school garbage bag it.
Nah, I got a sweatsuit and
I do not
sauna,
want that.
infrared sauna sleeping bag.
Nice.
Oh, dude, it's money.
Yeah.
Oh
bro.
yeah,
It's
done.
money. You lose like
Sounds
10
horrible.
pounds.
yeah, I've lost like up to in the 1 hour session. I've lost like up to 7 or 8 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy.
Hey, there, 1 hour. Right
But then
before
imagine
your
going
match.
to compete right after that. You
That's
would be
what I'm
so
saying.
dead.
Yeah, it sucks.
I won't
Wear
even
it.
be able to slap and bump to
Yeah.
start the match.
No.
Just wear
Pass
it
out.
and then take it off, weigh in. throw it-
Soaking
chug.
wet on the scale.
You gotta dry off. Yeah.
And then just chug water after.
Yeah.
Yeah. You still feel like shit.
Yeah.
So on that note, let's see. What else do we got?
flex.
Thank you
That's it,
to
dude.
our beautiful audience that's growing. And thank you. Thank you for supporting us. We appreciate you. And on 3, who's going to do it? Are we going to have Trace do the 1, 2, 3?
We can.
Pinche Podcast. All right, so on 3.
Do that. Where which camera are we flexing at?
We are flexing at that one right there.
That one right there.
All right, ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Pinche Podcast.
Have the confidence to be disciplined.
Nascida no subúrbios virou tema. Assunto hoje já é, pedindo espalhada pelo mundo.